Change the minds of your customers. Reframing with video storytelling.
Let's get into it.
Video Mavericks, the small business video marketing podcast. Presented by Workshop Media. With your hosts, Brett and Jeff, sharing a combined 40 years of video production and marketing experience. Take it away.
All right, so what's holding your customers back may not be logic.
Ooh.
It's belief, right? It's what they already think they know. It's the truth that they have between their ears, which may not be truth.
If they're starting from a different place and you're not recognizing that, then you may not be speaking to them about the right topic or in the right way to assuage concerns.
Yep. So using video is a great way to be strategic, to not speak at them. It's to reframe their mindset, dispel their false beliefs, to speak with them. Yeah.
It's catering the message, right? It's not changing your message. It's not being inauthentic. It means that understanding your customer at a fundamental level is sort of, it's not even sort of, it is paramount to speaking to them correctly.
That's exactly right. Because as soon as you realize that, and you'll know enough if you have data about why they're not purchasing or, what their experience is with your business, positive or negative, you'll know that it's because they believe this, they believe that.
It could be something not about your business specifically. It may be about the industry that you operate in. It may be about, maybe there's some social pressure for one reason or another that would lead someone to have a particular opinion based in nothing, based only in what they have been told.
Yeah, and if it remains as the thought and it's never been contested, it's never been addressed, that is truth. I mean, this is kind of speaking to people as a whole, into a much greater conversation is, historically what people have believed about this or that, about a people as a whole, about nations as a whole. Maybe it's how they were brought up. Maybe it's because they've never had their mind open to something. The idea here is to use that same kind of logic and apply it to business, apply it to your customers, to your ideal audience segments.
Yep. I
need to reframe what you're thinking. And I'm not trying to make you believe something that I just need you to believe what I'm saying is true. Just reframe their mindset so that it's a little bit of a broader view of the overarching truth that they have. And they will make the leap themselves because you're presenting strategic, story-driven content to them. You're telling them your angle of it, why you exist, why you matter, why their problem is solved, how it is solved. That's going to be a way to kind of help reshift their mindset.
Yep.
Video is the way. I mean, it's a lot easier because you have all those other methods. You've got music and pacing and juxtaposition of shots and, on-screen animations. You got all these other elements that, like, if I'm sitting across from you and saying what you believe is false, here's what's true.
There's instant friction.
Instantly you're in a debate. Instantly you're going, I don't think so, man.
Yeah.
No, what I believe is still true. So using video is a great vessel for that reframe. It's a great way to go, look, this is going to be non-confrontational. It's going to be stress-free. I'm going to position this because it's storytelling and everybody's used to storytelling.
Right.
So yeah, people don't act until they believe, right? That's that IQ versus EQ that we talk about a lot. About getting your head to follow your heart. No, but like your heart, we want to connect, and that your head's not doing that. Your head is thinking logically. It's thinking about, is this the right purchase for my dollars? Is this, you're thinking, and that's what your brain should be doing.
If they come into something fundamentally saying this is not for me, or this won't work for me, or this doesn't reflect me, or if the idea is stonewalled for one reason or another, then you're not going to get to a point of even considering a purchase.
Yeah, and you're not even close.
Yeah, and that's
because there's no heart in it. You haven't made a connection.
And this is assuming that maybe that you're not trying to take every single person on the planet and convince them to be a customer at your business. This is we're saying you have someone who is considering because they need a thing that you offer, right? They have to be a potential customer to begin with. not trying to convince the world that your landscaping company needs to take care of their yard, right?
Yeah.
It's people that need landscaping services. We need to talk to those folks. So you're trying to remove those false narratives or a lack of understanding on a fundamental level or a lack of urgency in that what you offer has a value over and beyond what it is that, it's sort of generally understood.
Yeah.
But they need to understand those things. They need to understand what you offer and that it does fit them. It does work for them. It is appropriate for them before they're even going to be willing to take action.
Yeah. And it's okay to call it out. Like, you had false beliefs. I'm here as an expert to explain to you that it's really easy and it's this way. Yeah, this is actually the way you should be seeing this.
Yeah. Let's think about like a car dealership. It's such a trope to say that car dealerships are trying to steal from you. They're trying to always take your money.
Okay. But you better present a good case here.
But not every interaction with a salesperson has to be this like really uncomfortable, icky thing that has been purported across the board. And I'm sure that those things have come from real experiences and they're depicted in movies because of real experiences and because people like to sort of take that and run with it. So if your business does not operate in that way, if you are running a car dealership, then it would be really important for you to demonstrate that the false belief that's been applied the world over does not apply to you. Let me show you why. Let me look at how I'm doing this in a way that like very deliberately does not resonate with that false narrative.
We have to do that a lot with some of our client work, breaking a stigma,
Yeah.
That's the same thing we're talking about here. It's reframing.
That's right.
In a positive way.
Don't lump us in with, the us, not us particularly, but us, the business.
Yep. I don't want to be in that bucket. I'm over here. I'm unique. I'm different. And this is what we're doing.
Actually, part of my unique value proposition is that I don't do that thing.
Right. So story, specifically in video, will help you reframe these objections.
Story will help to take you from just saying, nuh-uh. The classic, well, you're this, nuh-uh. Without any story, it's just a, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
But more, please. I need to understand, substantiate it in a way that's going to be something that people can connect with and will resonate with them by respecting that they need context. And you have that in the story that you're telling.
And so how do you do this? You've got to identify your customers, your target audiences. Have to know what their pain points are, what their desires are, what needs do they have. And then you can start to chip away at what their false beliefs might be.
Yes.
The pain point may be tied to it.
Absolutely. So the car example, if the false belief in this particular case that is keeping people from coming to you is that used car dealerships are not going to be honest. And fundamentally that you're operating a shop that is 100% on the up and up, and you can present that to people through video to demonstrate to them through interactions with other people or however you choose to do it, that we are operating in that way. We are transparent. I'll tell you when we're making money off of the sale.
Yeah.
You can make the decision on your own, but I'm going to show you that I'm not being opaque in this process. So I've got to identify to begin with, what is it that they're concerned about? Were they concerned that you didn't have the car that they want? Probably not. They don't want to be taken advantage of. So let's identify that false belief of every car dealership is going to try to take advantage of me, and reframe that to say, but we are different, and let me show you through story.
Yep. And through some social proof. That'll help you out honestly as well.
And they're they're inextricably tied together.
Success stories are a great way. Like I was saying, the testimonial, that's a great way to solidify the fact that you are different from the masses. Yeah. Honestly, you want this more than anything. You want to have them have this false belief because it gives you the ammo to be able to create the video content that's going to solve that. It's going to completely change. And having somebody, a true customer success story, speak on your behalf, again, to validate those claims we talk about all the time. That's crucial, in shifting the narrative.
You might could make the case that having a strong false belief in your vertical is a great unique value proposition opportunity for you. If you are operating in a space where there is overwhelming false belief, but you've figured out how to break that status quo, then that becomes something that is very, very valuable to you in appealing to people.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, then using those success stories and testimony after you've explained to someone why you're different, using those success stories to demonstrate that you did in fact do this differently than everyone else. Mm-hmm. Now you're taking that energy and that inertia of negativity and you're saying, but we're not like that. So let all that noise just draw attention, and then you get to spin it and punctuate the fact that, look, I'm demonstrating to you, you can see it firsthand through, this piece of content that I've shown you how we operate. And then this person who you trust because they're the everyman, they're telling you it's true. And so is that person. And so is that person. And they've chosen to put their names and their faces on this for you. You've now got a really nice, unique value proposition in taking control of a negative angle.
Ultimately dispelling whatever their false belief was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crucial. So some examples, we talked about a car dealer. You mentioned landscaping. I like that.
Yeah.
Yards by Brett. Let me talk about that the other day. Yards by Brett. What's a false belief? What, that it's a money that I don't want to spend. It's money weekly or monthly that I don't want to spend.
I could do it myself. Well, maybe the false belief is that you think that you're going to be capable of doing the exact same work as the landscaping company is. And so why would I bother? Well, the false belief in that case may be that, hey, we actually take care of this at a level that you haven't even seen yet. Yep. It's going to be quick. You could take care of it. It's going to take you 2 hours. We're coming out. We're going to do it in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And we're going to leave your place cleaner than we found it. And it's going to be easy for you. So the false belief that it's not worth it because I can handle it, that's one.
Yep.
It could be that these people are going to show up and not respect my property. I'm worried that they're going to take the weed eater and destroy all of my flowers because they're trying to rush through this. So that false belief is, we're using a special tool to keep that from happening. And then you have a testimonial that shows that this ornate garden is taken care of quickly without the flowers being destroyed. So, kind of getting at what are the things that people would, why would I hire someone to do that? They're not going to take care of it the way that I will.
Right.
It's a potential thing. So,
doing that on a Saturday instead of sitting by the pool, sipping a drink and enjoying the beauty of your freshly mowed and manicured lawn and garden.
Yep.
Right. There's a false belief in there that if you could do it, but should you?
Right.
Instead, sit back. And the false belief, you kind of reframe in positioning the person. Instead of trading all that time, spend a little bit, we'll handle it for you, and you could, spend more time with your family.
Yeah, there may be a false belief that this is too expensive, but if you can demonstrate value, yes.
It's an investment in your family and relaxation.
That's right. At the end of the day, your yard is taken care of, yes, and you could have gotten there, but what you're actually paying for is ease. And you're paying for the time that you get back by not doing that. So when you're thinking about in your video marketing, maybe you don't sell the mower, maybe you sell the poolside drink.
Yeah.
Right? And that's reframing a negative there that whatever you're charging is still not enough.
Yeah.
Because they're getting time with their kids.
How great
whatever
to see,
that is,
just
right?
to see like a slow motion shot of a kid and a cannonball, to open this thing up. It's like, this is a lawn care company.
Yeah.
Imagine.
You're not, hey, it's Saturday, but you're not cutting grass.
It was already done for you.
Yeah.
By us.
Right.
Yards by Brett. Hey, Go ahead and get on that domain. For all the listeners out there and the viewers, do not buy that before he gets it. Brett needs this one. Yards by Brett. Brett needs this one. But isn't this great though? Like, you thinking about the reframe, thinking about resetting, it really starts to get the creative ideas flowing.
I'm struggling to not just go through all these examples that are popping in my head right now because we just don't have the time for it. But
all right, one more example.
Like a law firm was the first thing that came to mind. I'm thinking like the classic. I mean, I hate to even say it because it's derogatory, but the ambulance chasers.
I don't know. Some of them have great pride in it.
You know what I mean? I don't want that to come across like I'm picking at folks, but. There's an opportunity to reframe that we're not just chasing accidents. We are making sure that we're there for you in your time of need in the best way possible.
We're filling this particular spot where some won't care. We care. Yeah. We're helping you with minor cases. We're helping you with, whatever.
You hear this like, I've heard it in advertising for law firms like that where it's, they've taken the angle of we don't get paid if you don't get paid. So they're clearly addressing a concern that people have, which is I've got to pay a lawyer.
Right. Do you really want to fight this in court? You got to pay the lawyer, then you may not win.
If I don't win and I still got to pay a bill, well, they're addressing the false narrative right there by going, and they don't have to say you don't have to pay us. They're saying
it's commission based. We're going to work because we need to make money and we're going to fight for you. And if you win, we win.
If you win, we win.
That's a false belief. That's dispelling a false belief.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's one that you could apply that across a ton of industries. And, you just have to think about your business, think about the things that might be keeping people from wanting to be a customer or, and then how do you directly answer that question? It should spin it into a positive.
It should tie directly to your solution, flat out. I mean, that you should already know what you're offering and why it's important, why it matters for your customer. So just figure out how to position that as the secret to success to reframing. We use it all the time in video marketing. One of the top, if not the number one false belief is that it's just too expensive.
Yeah.
But what do you get? You get connection, you get engagement, you get a direct line to your target audience, to your customer. This is an investment in your success, in your growth and scale of your business, your baby. Video marketing is the way to do it. It's not expensive. It's an investment. Now, it can be pretty costly, but you got to...
It's expense versus ROI, which we've talked about time and time again.
Ad nauseum. So... reframing is, you got to just think about that with your ideal customer and what you already know. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You already know that I'm constantly having to fight it's too expensive. I'm constantly having to fight. I don't have the time for that, or whatever it is. You already kind of know this information. So once you identify how to position your solution to give that breakthrough secret to reframe their truth, then you can apply video to it. And now you can, attack the masses. You can get the information out to a much larger audience instead of that one customer that came in and had objections. You can assume that one objection, 2, 3, 4, 10 objections is the same objections that all of your people have. And you use the internet and video to really position that solution out there for everyone.
And, introducing that objection and immediately following it up with a solution, for those folks who maybe didn't have the objection, you're now taking advantage of showing them that you've solved a problem. So even if it's not the objection of the individual that happens to be watching the video, maybe they haven't even thought to object that.
Yeah.
They now have been presented with a problem and a solution all at one time.
Yeah, we're letting you know. You may not have thought of this, but here's a common one.
People really hate when folks do this, but we don't do that. So, now I feel educated in the industry as a whole and that you have solved a thing that I didn't even know was a problem,
Yeah. But now that I know it's a problem, it's already solved.
Yeah, I'm so glad I got it.
Appreciate you guys.
That's the classic. The computer comes with a power cord. Oh, dang. Some computers don't come with a power cord?
I'm glad this one does.
That's crazy. I'm so glad they did that.
Thank goodness. So bottom line, stories stick. Stories change minds. They influence people. and sometimes in a negative way. But the fact of the matter is that you don't have to just explain. You want to reframe what's possible. Invite your audience into a better future filled with solutions, a new truth that they can believe in. Video marketing, story-driven video marketing specifically, is going to do it for you.
That's it. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We release episodes each week packed full of insights on how to grow and scale your business with strategic video marketing.
That's right. And if you're ready to take the next step with your business, join us in our brand storytelling workshop. In just 90 minutes, we'll work with you and your team to uncover your brand message, align everyone around a clear narrative, and map out the exact videos that will move your business forward. This is a custom strategic session built around your unique goals. Learn more and book your session at brandstoryworkshop.com.